I love browsing for cheap computer parts on eBay, and even in the for parts or not working section you can find some absolute gems. And in fact, that's where I found the subject for today's video. This is a mini ITX LGA775 motherboard which I picked up for £3. The real thing that enticed me into this listing was how it was being sold, with a title that just stated terrible and not good motherboard, and the description gets even better, where the seller describes the problems with the board, such as coffee spill on it and looked at me funny. I absolutely had to buy this after seeing the incredible description, and immediately after sending in my offer I got a message back from the seller asking me if I was actually serious about buying this. Overall, the seller was very friendly and helped me out greatly. If you want to check out his eBay store, I'll leave a link in the description. But moving on to the actual piece of junk that I bought, this is a Pegatron IPX41-R3, a mini ITX board pulled from a pre-built RM201 PC. For those of you who don't know, RM are a system integrator here in the UK, who mainly market their systems to the education sector, but once those machines are retired, they often just get sold off in job lots or end up in parts, which I'm guessing is what happened with this board. Back to the board though, it supports all LGA775 CPUs and even sports 2 DDR3 memory slots. The only downside to this board was the PCIe 1X slot, meaning we couldn't get a full-size GPU in this board without any sort of riser. But overall, I really do like this board. It offers a lot in a small package, and obviously for a buy it now price of £3 you seriously cannot complain. So I was sold this board under the impression that it was non-working, and my first thought was that this was due to the clearly bent and damaged pins on the CPU socket. But just in case this board was just acting up for the seller, I decided to test it as is anyway. So, equipped with a Core 2 Quad Q8200 and 4GB of DDR3 memory, the max that this board supports unfortunately, I got ready to test, when to my surprise, the board fired straight up, greeting us with an RM BIOS screen and then asking for a boot device. So, since there's not really much I can benchmark, I decided to test Windows 10 usability instead. Booting up onto my 1TB testing drive and installing all the drivers was smooth, and I did have the chance to test at least one game that was installed, with the CS Source benchmark, where we pulled off a pretty dreadful 7 FPS on average, with minimums of 4 and maximums of 12, running at 1280 by 1024 lowest settings, which you can't really expect it to run very well without a graphics card. So that concludes my story of buying a cheap motherboard on eBay. It was a fun adventure, and at the end of it I now have a pretty versatile motherboard that can be used for any sort of mini ITX purposes I may need, and well, any projects in the future. Thank you all so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.